Well, the engine's going, but I'm going nowhere at the moment. They've closed the canal up above me due to water shortages, so it basically means there's no water coming down into this pound anymore. And I'm sat on the bottom this morning. Well, it's time to get out before this pound drains too much. So here we go. I'm leaving Long Eaton. As you can see, I'm just pulling myself off of the bank a bit. The front end is actually floating. It's the rear end which is sat on the bottom. So a quick pole off, push the boat into the middle of the canal, and hopefully we'll be underway. Today's plans are to leave here Long Eaton, complete down to the start of the Erewash Canal, fill up with water, go across the River Trent and onto the Soar Navigation, and find somewhere nice to moor up for a couple of days. Well, here goes. We're all good to go now. The boat's floating and we have drive. So here we go. I'm leaving Long Eaton. Well, this is Harrington Mill. It was built in 1885 and it took 1,250,000 bricks to build it. Well, that's Long Eaton Lock done behind me there in the distance. Now on to Trent Lock, but before I do Trent Lock, I hope to fill up with water. Well, we're just about to pass the Seascapes hut again. Let's see if we get told off again, going back in this direction.
Warning, you should not be in this area. Please leave now.
Yep, we got told off again. Well, back past some of these wonderful houseboats. That means we're getting close to the end of the canal. Perhaps it's just my imagination. This houseboat reminds me of an old Mississippi paddle steamer for some reason. Don't tell anyone, but it's been an hour and a half so far, filling up with water. Not there's a restriction on this water point. I'm glad it's not a half-hour water point, so I'd never have got it done. As soon as I leave here, loading up with water, straight into Trent Lock, across the River Trent, and onto the River Soar. Lucky again, lock's gates getting shut for me. And a lovely lady helped me do the locks. Boat coming down, we're cutting across, but we've got plenty of time to get across the Soar Navigation. We're going that way. I believe that is called Devil's Elbow Rowing Club there. I believe they only meet at weekends, but I could be wrong on that. Where you see the train going over the bridge down there, that's the way the river flows. Now we're just about to go onto the River Soar. I've kept the engine revs up quite high here. I'm not quite sure where the confluence of the two rivers meet, if there's any flow or not. I want to get round the corner in one. We are now on the River Soar Navigation. This is our first floodlock we encounter today. As you can see, the gates are all open and the system is green. There's hardly any flow on the river today, which is perfect for cruising. This boat caught up with me quite quickly, so I've let him pass. As you know, I'm never really in a hurry. Funny enough, I catch up with them again the next lock, and we share the lock together. From here on, we start to move away from the power station at last. Well, this is our first proper lock on the Soar Navigation. Yes, we came for a stop lock, but I don't count that one. It's the first one after coming across the River Trent. Well, if this place had been open, I'd have topped up with diesel. £1.30 a litre. It's a darn sight better than the 1.86 I paid a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've noticed, but most of the properties along here are all on stilts, just in case of flooding. This is our second stop lock today. This is called Kegworth Shallow Lock. Well, this is now called Kegworth New Lock. It used to be called Kegworth Deep Lock. I guess it's the new lock because the old lock's over there. Well, I'm now all moored up just above Kegworth Deep Lock, or as it's now called, Kegworth New Lock. And the boat I came up the locks with is moored in front of me. I'm still moored with the same side on the towpath, so I'm unable to do the other side yet, but we hope to get to that quite soon. Well guys, it's a very blustery day, all moored up. That's the end of that little trip from Long Eaton across the River Trent onto the River Soar Navigation and up to Kegworth, and that's where we are now. We're moored up just above Kegworth New Lock. Sun's blaring down on me, which is rather nice. Late evening, time to go and make some supper, I think. Rather enjoyed the day, being a bit different. Hope you enjoyed it. Of course, a big thank you must go out to all my Patreon, PayPal supporters and Super Thanks supporters. And the music in this video is by Joe Massinio. If you want to listen to any more of Joe Massinio's music, you'll find them on Spotify. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. And don't forget to hit that old bell notification button. That way YouTube will inform you every time I upload a new video. And if you can hear some background noise, there's a huge weir just beyond there where we're on the canal section here of the Soar Navigation, and that's a big weir around there where the river section goes around. It's also quite noisy here. Not just that, which I could have no problem with at all, but we must be right on the flight path of a local airport. Well, I'm not sure it's a local airport or a big airport, possibly West Midlands Airport, I'm not sure, I haven't looked it up. But every couple of minutes there's a plane going overhead. You don't hear it too much inside the boat. It is actually quite noisy out here. I had to wait for a moment to start recording while it did go over. Meanwhile, there's one more thing to say. Thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.